thing, right? Just one note. During the meeting today, we won't show any like demo or any solution. It's gonna be like in the next meeting after, like we can form up the area of focus like throughout the meeting today. Yep. So is this okay? Is this good to go ahead? You all?
Thanks, Vincent. Good intro. I just want to reconnect back to Australia here. We've just got to introduce Steve here in the room, and just so you guys know, and then we can feel that. So, cool.
Yeah, Steve. Cool. Thanks for that. Really helpful. Yeah, Steve Nuttall, James's business partner, one of the 3 owners of the business. I play around with lots of the AI in the business at the moment and trying to develop agents, applications, testing the limits of what large language models can do, and probably got a good understanding of what our limitations are, what the capabilities are, and where the opportunities might lie in terms of the scope for automating some of our core processes, and also kind of a good idea where I think a lot of the time sinks are. I think, kind of knowing where the time sinks are, and particularly the ones which are kind of counterproductive, where we're spending too much time with people like Jess, for example, on tasks that could be automated. So freeing people like Jess up to do the smart stuff. Jess, you want to?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the introduction, Vincent. It's nice to meet you all. I'm Jessica. I'm an account management here at Fifth Quadrant, and I work on the small medium enterprise reporting, which is the reports that we're trying to automate. So really interested to see how this looks.
Yep. Thanks, Jess, and thanks, Steve. Yep.
And just so again, it's good that we can speak about a project, Vincent, but again, we are very open to any technology, automation, AI discussions across the business. We are quite advanced because we do a lot of the research for the National AI Centre in Australia, and hence Steve particularly is our internal expert. But so as much as it's good to talk about a project, and we want to try and obviously get into a situation where we can try and do something, but in the next few years we expect the whole workflow and the whole world of market research to continue to change and be disrupted.
Yeah. And just to caveat that, we had an awesome conversation before this, and I think there's further to this, there's a huge amount of opportunity to leverage from a scaling perspective. Now, our team in Vietnam, I know we've got a small representation here, but there is also a huge amount of workforce that support the things that you want to do, or exploration. Also, in the context of things, we've had a series of Q&A already, online, offline. So I've shared with the team, Emma and Jenny, some answers from James as well previously. So you want to acknowledge that. So some scoping that was basically on the SME tracker, so you can use that as a conversation. And then there's some follow-up questions which you put to an Excel today. I had some questions, but I haven't shared. Well, I don't know if they've read it.
I think Vincent said they have.
Oh, you've read it? The one this morning? Have you looked at the list of questions this morning, Dean?
Yes, I did. And actually, I already do my own homework as well, and then I put for some extra question.
Okay, awesome. So
okay.
That's good.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything else that you want to add on the context-wise before?
Sure. Actually, because I think thanks to Angfed, right, for putting all the detailed question regarding the workflow ownership or the workflow timing or automation, right? But before we start, deeper into that, right? May I just have a question about your industry or your domain expertise right now? Because I think for your business, right, it's really important. Maybe you form up yourself in some specific domain. So what it is right now, or you have any strategy to just grow your business into this kind of domain right now?
Yeah, it's a good question, Vincent. So we do customized market research across multiple categories, and so our core business is customized research, and we do a lot in automotive. We do a reasonable amount in financial services. We do a reasonable amount in healthcare. We do a reasonable amount in government, etc. But that's kind of purposeful to a degree. But ultimately, we don't mind what we're doing as long as we're doing customised research as our core. Now, the next step of the business, to answer your question, we are going deeper with niche opportunities in the automotive space, and we're developing portals of data portals in that space, and we would like to do the same in the SME space, potentially the healthcare space, and any other area where we may develop more of a subscription model as opposed to a fixed service model.
It's great to hear, James. So, from your sharing, right, I understand right now you are doing the customizable like research to like different categories. So it means that like, you are not formed up yet about like the domain knowledge, right? But like in your expectation, you want to work deeper with like healthcare or like automation. This is what I hear from you. Is this?
Yeah, I mean, we've got deep expertise because we've been doing it for 30 years, Vincent. So, yeah, the nature of the business is that, you know, we don't know what we're doing tomorrow because the next opportunity that comes in, you know, comes in from different clients, from different sales channels, etc., etc. So, but it's not to do with the deepening of the expertise. It's about leveraging that expertise more readily so that we've got a different business model supporting the core.
I do understand. So, James or Steve, right? Can you just help me to just like differentiate your business, right, to some of the, I mean, a notable market research company in the market right now? Because for example, like Steve, right? For example, like when you come to the client and like you show the company profile and then you impress the client by your, I mean, a domain expertise, right? Of course, for example, like an automation company, right? They would choose you if like they see that you already run the work with the automation companies before, and then you show something relevant as your like experience to them, right? So I mean, like how could you like engage with your ideal customer profile right now to convince them to use right now?
I mean, in terms of how people find us in the first place, they quite often, and so you know, people find us either from word of mouth because they heard about other people who they know about us. They come via the website, so they look at credentials, they look at case studies, they look at the content, they look at the blog that we have. They might be people that receive our newsletter that goes out to 8,500 people that may well also be on that. So they're very familiar with the content, and our content provides commentary, analysis, and insight on the themes, topics, and into the categories where we have expertise. So people don't just come to us with no prior knowledge, right? Normally they are coming to us for they've got a problem that needs solving. They believe that market research can solve that, and they believe that Fifth Quadrant can solve that problem because we both understand the market in which they operate, we understand their business model, and we have tools and frameworks that we can apply to solve their business problem and ultimately unlock opportunities for them. The reason why we differentiate is because the solutions that we provide are both highly customized and deliver really actionable recommendations with a roadmap that people can implement. So, you know, we make it clear for them how they can progress forward, and the kind of, you know, problems that we are trying to solve for those, you know, clients could be about, you know, we want to rapidly scale our business. So companies come to us, they're trying to scale rapidly, but they lack any real independent knowledge about the size of the prize and where they sit relative to competitors. That's another example where people come to us maybe because they want very detailed competitor intelligence as well. People come to us sometimes because they have issues around the way in which they provide, they service their customers. So they're seeing problems around lots of churn, not very good retention rates in their customers. So is this to do, are there problems with their value proposition? Is it to do the way in which they manage their customers, etc.? Sometimes it's a marketing problem. So lots of different problems that we come and fix, but we are good at those problems and giving them a way forward.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't talk about differentiation, Vincent. We talk about distinction, right? Our brand is distinctive, and we built the brand. People look for our brand, so that's how we differentiate, because we've got a distinctive brand that is louder than most people. And so also what people want is a level of trust. Our brand is trusted, and when they get through the door, they're speaking to experienced, smart people, and therefore we've got a better chance of being able to deliver what they want, wherever they want it across the world.
So, James, I do have a follow-up question regarding the thing you just shared, right? So, first of all, right now in this world of AI, people can use like ChatGPT or Gemini to generate like different report, right, and insight as well. So, I think, so what do you think that is gonna like make you like, still outstanding in the market right now to let the company still like use your service right now instead of using for some, available like AI tools right now in the market?
Yeah, it's a good question, but I mean, generally, obviously, AI is still limited to the past as opposed to the future, and ultimately, the power of AI helps create better research. But in the end, you still need to talk to customers to be able to develop better products, better services. You can't. Again, you can do a lot with AI, and there's no doubt that it's disrupting the industry, and the people who are not as sophisticated will be falling off the side. But the trick is to not fight AI; it's to go with it, and we're clearly ahead of most people because we're using it, and therefore we're more efficient. The research ends up being better research, and you've got to remember that people commission market research to diminish risk. If they do it themselves, then they run the risk of not diminishing the risk, and therefore losing their job, right? So that's often the reason.
So from your sharing, I do understand two important points, right? So first, when doing the market research, right, we still need to engage to the client. To get like their requirement, and maybe like we need to tailor-made like the way we are working or like design the market research with them. This is like the first point. And the second point you just mentioned, because like when doing the market research, right, I think like better, doing with like the partner to just like cover and manage the risk. Just to see like the risk clearly. Instead of like using like the internal team or like doing the own market research, right? And then like we want to see like the clear risk of that like market research if possible. Is this?
Kind of missed a bit of that, but yeah. Again, just maybe if I explain it in terms of where the world of market research is at. What has happened is we will do some of it internally, which is the easier stuff, often the consumer stuff. When you're going to outsource something that's really big, really complex in marketplaces that are very niche, in difficult to reach audiences, when you're doing complex methodology, maybe conjoint analysis, etc., even with some level of segmentation, which a lot of people think they can do using AI. So that's kind of how it's changing a bit, Vincent, is that the types of projects just become larger and they become more complex because they need that market research expertise as opposed to the do-it-yourself stuff that you can do.
Okay, I might get it. Okay, so I think like we can just like put that here, and then maybe like we rethink about this a little bit more, because I think like with some I mean, like advanced model of AI right now in the market, right? It's gonna be like the very deep research model already, and of course, right, with the larger data they got, right? I think like it's gonna be like more it's really like kind of can be considered as the competitor in the market right now. Because I see here, right?
There's no
Yep.
doubt that number one competitor is AI,
Mm.
no doubt at all.
Because I see here, it relates me to like one of the thing like in your operation model right now. Here I see like you got 400 responses each month consistently, right? And when you do the survey through the I mean like through the audience, right? So if like that, even like I think like for the responses here, right, the answer is already being structured in the very like a different filter already, because like you put the question and then like people can choose, right, the right answer from their like perspective, and then you got the very I mean like clean data already. However, I mean like one of the things is that like if the if the company, right, they just want to have the bigger like sample tests, right, and then like, it's gonna be like another strength of the available AI tools right now in the market. So maybe here, right, you can just help me to understand better about like first of all like when you firstly engage with your client, right, what do you need them to provide you as the requirement, and how is this look like in terms of like the whole process since like you do the survey until like you can have the report result to send back to the client? How is this look like in terms of that like total processes right now?
Yeah, so from end to end, Vincent, I mean that they will, again, let's say that 60% of our work is done for repeat clients, and so they'll just send us a brief and we'll respond with the proposal. Ultimately, we're developing a methodology that is best suited to solve their problem or to optimize their opportunity. And so the proposal will include the methodology. Most projects these days include both qualitative research and quantitative research, and the trend is to more qualitative for some of the reasons that you've mentioned, because some of the AI side of things can be easier to do in terms of the quant. So basically, we take a brief from the client, we write a proposal, they sign off on the proposal, we then develop the discussion guides, questionnaires. We manage the fieldwork process, i.e. recruiting people for qualitative research, scripting quantitative questionnaires, and we go out to external panel providers to collect the data. Then we get the data back, and smart people like Jess analyse the data, clean the data, write the reports, and then we present the reports to the clients with insights, implications, actions, and hopefully they use it to win.
So because I see like in that whole process right now, right, you're gonna be the one who approves in final, right, James, for every report that could be sent to the client right now. So I mean like in your step, right, to have the final approval for that report, right, I mean like which criteria normally you're gonna use, right, to approve for that before it is like being sent to the client right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to do with the final reports because Steve and our other business partner, Ben, are responsible for those reports. But all of those reports are, customized reports for each client, and ultimately they get sent to they get presented to the client with the the data that is required to tell the story that is required to answer their problem or opportunity. So, and so again, at this moment in time, the vast majority of what we do cannot be fully automated because it's highly customized, and it's highly customized because that's what we do, because that's what differentiates us in the marketplace. In the end, what we're trying to do is the few repeatable projects that we have. Those are the ones we want to automate, and then once we've automated those, then the next the next opportunity is really to develop the automation around the portals that we want to develop, which are going to be based on information that is published on a regular basis, and therefore needs a human to update it at this moment in time, but shouldn't as we move along.
So can I just summarize here, and we can argue or help me understand? There are, Vincent and the team, there are two types of output or outcome here. One is a customized, very, individual reporting, scoping, that kind of thing. And then there's a repeatable output, which is, I think, some respect is SME tracker is. This repeatable report starts with a survey, and there's a wave 78 now. So every month for the last 78 months, it's a general report and it gets published. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like a lead generator. This is like a tool that Fifth Quadrant publishes free access. I'll correct me at the moment, free access to current, old, new potential customers who might read the report. Oh, by the way, I like that trend over there. Brings up James. Can I get some exploration? I get some deeper. So that's the type of thing that the team here likes to automate, is to have this repeatable report, SME tracker, and there may be some more, which I'm not sure, but that's where that's going to help the business here internalize and optimize.
Correct. And just on that, because the opportunity is to do more, and once we've nailed this reporting side of things so that Jess doesn't have to spend 3 or 4 days on it, she only has to spend a day on it. Once we've done that, then it allows us to then start producing other reports as well, because the cost of it's a marketing cost, right? So the cost of marketing is significantly reduced, and therefore we can start producing other reports that we could then again start syndicating more readily as well in some areas that we have that deeper expertise.
Yeah. We have a case study. We have a client that they have 1,000 of staff, and every quarter they will send the survey using Hive to everybody, and a list of questions they will decide themselves, and every quarter they will have a different list of questions. And the problem is after collecting all the answer from the staff, the internal staff will take a lot of time. I mean, about 2 or 3 weeks or 1 month to categorize the answer and providing the output. I mean, the reports to the POD and report to the staff to see their feedback. So at the time, we leverage the Gen AI with some automation mechanism to generate report, and I think it's quite similar to your current status. Is it right?
Correct. Yeah. So that's a good example, Ethan, of something that's repeated and something that, as you point out, should be turned around quickly, and therefore, that's a good example.
And I think it's very easy to go with generative AI thanks to its huge capabilities. It's all about that. We detail the requirements and details the report, and we can decide the solution for your requirements. Yeah.
So now that we understand the two aspects of Fifth Quadrant, is it okay we focus on, I guess, some of the technical questions that you guys have asked, and maybe Jess, Steve, and perhaps James and I will be the last cab off the rank to answer them. And then let's wash through them so that team, the objective that I like is in a couple of days, a week, that we come back to the team here to give them a feasibility answer. That is, yes, we can do it. Cost, time, blah, 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 and how much it would automate the process here. And while we're not optimally making you redundant, Jess, but we're going to make your life better.
Sounds great.
It's exactly. I mean, it's again, there's stuff that we do with this report is really important, and so you can't underplay the importance of what Jess does. It's just the fact that we don't want too much of Jess's time spent on repeatable things, because in the end it gets in the way of her development. Right?
Absolutely. So the structured questions that I put together, which is basically the washing and summarizing in the many Q&A that I've said, do you want me to go through them one by one and you guys take notes, or what's the preferred? How would you like to do it?
Actually, I
think-
really want to see. I think like I really want to see like the sample of the report here as well. Because like to be honest, right, it's still not clear to me about like
Share
the. I mean, like
there is that
Yeah.
we share the report in the email file. Emma, could shoot that out to Vincent.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can share you.
Vincent, it's on the
percent-
web. It's on the website anyway. So if you go into our work, you should be able to find Wave 77 of the report. So if you click on there, you'll see the full report.
It's about I don't know, 40 pages.
40 pages.
40 page of PDF that you find it typically of any. But so that's the monthly. Just from a perspective, just how many effort in days does it take from the survey to?
It's difficult to say. I'd say with data checks included, probably like three days, because that's like writing headlines, like data cleaning, and like putting in the new data into there.
And there's other bits of time as well. Right?
Yeah.
So and you know that and that's at the end, right? And so Jez obviously has to still manage the process throughout, and that's kind of not going to change because we're dealing with you know obviously a partner in that respect, So.
So technically, guys, just focusing on the feasibility and technical of automation, I had a question that first off the rank was an API. Yeah. What? Yeah. So.
Do you want me to
So
show
Pukul, was it Pukul or Ovations?
Yeah, so Ovation is the company and Purple is their platform.
Is there, go for it, Jess. Explain to us that. How do we access it?
I'm not sure I have the answer for you there. I did see the question, but I think James's summary of it was.
Yeah, so basically they give us a manual download of the data. Jess, is that correct? You don't download it.
We get an SPSS file.
Yeah, so we get a file in SPSS and Jess then weaves her magic. So there is no API per se that we can access so the data just gets dumped into our domain or we can pull it down from.
Okay.
What's kind of the format of the report in the PDF or in the image or in the Excel file, something like that?
So Ethan, in our world we get the data in an SPSS file. We create tables just in Excel, and we output. The output is in PowerPoint, and that's where we do most of the work, and then we turn it into a PDF before we publish it.
Yeah.
The data can be exported into a CSV file with an accompanying data map, and the purpose of the data map is that the variable labels that will be on the CSV file on the top row would then correspond to questions and question numbers in the questionnaire and relatable codes for each question as well. So so you could have a CSV file basically with that data map.
Okay. Yeah, basically it's a common practice that we collect the data from multiple data sources. If they don't have the API, we can leverage the RPA, RPA to simulate the user behavior to download the CSV file, any report from any websites, and then we can do some calculation to gather all the data from this Excel file, and then we can export the data later. Yeah. So it's all about the automating the way do we collect the data. Yeah.
Cool. All right. If we move on to AI questions, I had
So can I, excuse me, yeah. So
Okay.
can I have a little clarification over here? I've heard that, okay, so I see the pipeline is that you will collect the data either through surveys or multiple sources, and then they will be in the CSV form, right? And with the columns as the question in the survey and the rows as maybe the individual that have answered that survey, correct? And then after that, you're going to do some data cleaning, which is what you're wanting to automate right now because it's repetitive, as well as the charting. Is that correct? So I have like, yeah, I have like one outside problem here is that, so since automation is all about doing the repetitive task in the automated way in efficient, so you don't have to waste your time on repetitive tasks. So may I ask if the cleaning pipeline, the data pre-processing pipeline, is that something that is consistent? That's something that like for every data that you gather, it is always the same process, or is it varied depending on the data given? Is it reliable that we have like a reliable pipeline that we can follow in order to pre-process the data?
I see what you're saying, yeah, because some of the data cleaning is based off of open ends, which, you know, like an open end response. So it would then be like judging whether you think that's a valid response or not. So I'd say there is definitely nuances to each wave. I wouldn't say that the data cleaning side of things is like the priority.
So
from the onset.
how many open ends have we got? Do we get many responses on that?
Yeah, so like for example, whether they work, or if they don't work in that set industry, you say other, please specify.
Yeah,
You
right.
can say, oh,
Yeah.
I don't work.
Yeah. So Keith, there's a few areas in terms of, you know, verbatim comments, but in terms of the core of the research and the core questionnaire, those questions are always got the same question number, and they're consistent. We do pull questions in and out on a monthly basis, but we can deal with those on ourselves anyway. So essentially, it's, you know, you would get a reasonably consistent data set you would get a consistent data set each time, and we can overcome those verbatim comments to some degree, because we don't necessarily need to ask other specify in this survey as much as we might in another survey.
So in a nutshell, the structure is generally consistent.
It's generally
consistent.
And again, if it's not, we want to make it generally consistent so that we can solve the problem.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how do you download the reports through the email, or you need to log into the website to download the files?
They're usually just sent to us. We don't really have access to a website.
It's an email attachment.
As in the data.
Yeah. Email attachment.
It's an email attachment, Ethan.
Okay.
But again, I don't think it necessarily needs to. That's just. Yeah.
And that's where I guess we can automate that API with that less of an email. Guys, just really like an API.
Yeah.
Guys, can you get on mute? Simply call that data set as and when we need it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Without even but we can investigate that, Keith, a little bit. I want to pick up what you said earlier, Steve, about the charting. There was, I feel like that's a bit of a pain point.
Well, it's the time. It's time
constructing the chart.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously come from every wave. Very often, it's the same type of chart, and it's data that has been built over several months. So you're tracking. That was June, July, August, September. Now we need to add in October. Okay, so at the back end, there'll be those charts. We'll have an Excel document. So there'll be a spreadsheet behind the chart in the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Where you would add the new month's data to that chart. So you would take the previous month's. Yes, you better if you describe it, Jess, because it's better than me. Because I'm guessing what I think you do.
No, it's
okay.
It's But I describe it more as like inputting the data rather than creating charts.
Yes.
A lot of the time, you know, we are using the set format.
Yeah.
And then it's just inputting that, and it's like in an Excel within the PowerPoint, and it's just updating it. So we track from September to September rather than. Yeah.
Gotcha. 12 months.
So
Yeah.
after collecting on the data, you will store your unified report or the data in Excel file again, right?
We don't. We can do. That's another can do. It's not something we do currently.
So Jess, when you're updating, let's say the data point for October for a particular chart,
Yeah.
and let's say the stat is it's 76% for that month. Okay.
Mhm.
Are you manually picking that up from the Q file and entering it into the spreadsheet on the chart? Or is there, yeah?
Yeah.
So we use a piece of software called Q, market research software,
Mhm.
and that will you then look that up and then you manually enter the data.
Yeah.
There's also obviously then you might think, oh well, that could be prone to error because you might just make a mistake in doing it. So we have then two other people would cross-check. One other person then cross-checks all of the data to make sure that what Jess has done has been done correctly. So every data point then manually checked.
Right.
So manually entered, manually checked.
Right. So
That's
do we need access to Q?
no,
No.
because you could be working off the CSV file
Right.
with the data map.
Yeah.
And if you know that's the data, so that you would need to know that within that, for that chart, to add that that month's data. And obviously the one from 12 months ago now drops off.
Yes.
This
So
one gets added on.
Mhm.
So it needs to know where to find that data point
Yes.
in a CSV file, and then it needs to know the AI needs to be able to pick that up and enter it into the
In the right cell.
in the right cell.
Do you get that, guys?
Yeah, I think we can automate this process with a clear rules for the transforming the data or the correcting the data. So we can automate this process automatically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to add in a little bit of the clarification in the progress here. So technically, what I'm understanding with your current pipeline manually, is that you are going to sanitize the data, right? And then that sanitized data is going to get inside, is going to be fed into your Excel spreadsheet. And then you are going to manually put like the values in and visualize it in some sort of charting. And so one question first is that, is your charting for SME always consistent? Meaning that like for every wave, your charts and your your visualization, is that consistent?
Yeah.
Only the inferred, I understand is that your inferred knowledge is going to be different because each wave is going to have different data. It is going to have different inferred knowledge, right? But the question is the formatting. Is the charts going to be the same and consistent for every single wave? Because if that's the case, then the automation process can go through very smoothly.
Yeah. So yes.
And Kate, I mean, again, there will be situations where we will need to add questions here and there, but we can deal with that very manually if we need to. So it's just getting that core 25 questions or whatever it is nailed down.
I'll mention, because this is something we've struggled with when we've tried this before, is that we have charts and we also have tables within the PowerPoint, but these tables will have like different months at the top. And rather than you editing it in Excel, you're editing it on the PowerPoint. And for whatever reason, we weren't able to automate this when we last.
So that's rolling 3 month stuff as well.
Yeah, when it's like a combined 3 months.
Yeah. So if some questions there's not enough data, it's easier for us to track it on a 3 month rolling average than it is on a monthly average. So there's some intricacy in there, but again, it's consistent, right? So
cool. So I had that roughly around the topic of data and input. in my organized project management world. So I've got that input. Any other questions around the input and the survey data team? And then we can move on a couple of other categories that you guys help me structure the Q&A. No? All right. Well, feel free to, if you come up with anything, email me, and then I can always, or you can email the team directly and chat to them if you've got anything that might come up as you start to.
Yeah, and sorry, but just around that is because there's weighting on this data
Yes.
as well, which I've referenced, and there's so
Which is
obviously
next.
Jess can give. Oh, is it next?
Yeah.
Sorry, because we normally talk about waiting before we do anything with the data. So
yeah,
my
yeah.
fault, Fred.
All right, no, that's all right. We
Anyway,
let's talk about the weighting.
Let's talk about the weighting.
Yeah.
So there's weighting based on states, industry, size. Anything else, Jess?
I'll just get it up. So I've got the Q file up on the screen that you can't see.
Yeah, cool.
Sharing my screen.
You want to share screen? Or...
Yeah, they can see this, but I can
okay. Yeah. Can you see the share screen from Jessica? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we can see it clearly.
Cool. So it's just the main focus of the business, where the head office is located. So that will be, which state they're in. This is employee size, and then that's also where it's used. So yes, where your business is located, how many employees, and the main focus. So like
industry.
What industry you're in.
Yeah. So that weighting is obviously based on Australian Bureau of Stats information and changes not very often.
Carrying along that theme, I have a couple of, questions around the methodology and the weighting. Is there something that the team can reference to as your methodology? They can, refer to something substantiated, written down, or is it all captured in your inbox?
The methodology is articulated in each report at the back. So that talks about the sample, it talks about the weighted sample, it talks about how we manage the process. But please, if there's anything else you need, then just let us know and get Jess.
So the methodology team is at the back of the WAVE report, and I guess that gives the reader some credibility how it's all calculated. But then, if there's any calculation behind that, you guys will talk.
Yeah, exactly, and it's again, as it's been going for 78 waves, there is a level of consistency, and it goes out to obviously every large organisation in the country. So they'll point things out if
they would have picked it apart already. Yeah. Are there any questions by James and the team in Vietnam that I missed around this topic of calculation and weighting? Anything you want to add?
I may have a follow-up question regarding like your historical database right now, right? Because I think that you have run through like different surveys already and different like ways of the reporting already, right? So where do you store like all historical database right now? Or like can it be reused for the future purpose as well to generate the report to the client?
Yeah, we have all data from 78 waves.
Oh yeah, the data, each time you export it, it will be from the very start. You'll get all the data and then you just clean out the previous waves.
So it means that like you don't save or like store the historical data. You clean it up after like you've done the job, right?
Yeah, just because we can re-download it the wave after. Like it's never gone forever.
Okay, because like I have an idea like this, right? Just see like if like this is gonna be like workable for the business. So James, just think about like if you have a platform that you can allow the user to just like do the subscription every month, and based on like the historical data you already have, and also like your industry domain knowledge, right? And I mean, like from that, you just can generate for some like monthly report, or I mean a customizable report based on the user need as well. And then like you create that platform and allow user to do the subscription, and then like you can get money from that as well. And of course, I think that we can apply AI into that platform to just like support for a better, I mean like information generation or like the report generation as well. So it could be another idea I'm thinking right now to just like have another business revenue stream for your business as well.
Correct.
Alongside with the thing we are trying to just like optimize in your daily operation right now as well. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, you're dead right, Vincent. And in the end, the second could easily eliminate the first, because we only do it the way we do it because of practicalities. But in the end, all of those 8,500 people we can give a subscription to for free to start with, and then you just scale them up. So yeah, so the ideal is that yes, it can be user based. They can go onto the portal. They can say what's going on in New South Wales with companies between 0 and 10 employees and in the retail sector, right? So yeah, that's exactly where we're trying to go, Vincent. But we need an interim step.
Yeah. So you're right on point.
Yeah,
And
I think it could be a great idea to think about like how you can utilize AI and to make more money right now. Because I think like when I look at like your daily operation right now with like different step in your process, right? I think that even we can apply AI or like AI RPA into that as well. However, I don't think it's gonna bring like much more value to use. Like you can create something new with AI and then generate more money into that as well. Yeah, but just an idea, right? I think like after this meeting, we need to conclude the information again after like we discover, and I think like maybe we come up with the idea and also like the solution properly as well for you to consider.
Yeah. So just in the interest of time, I'm very conscious of 8 minutes left, team. I have a couple of categories that you guys proposed, namely report output, because I think the answers are pretty clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can skip that. Is there any other questions that you want to know about the report output? PDF, is it? Oh, sorry, PPT.
Yeah. PPT goes to PDF, and we do use Power BI internally, and ultimately, yeah, there's no reason why this shouldn't be more dynamic, as per the previous conversation about portals and subscriptions. So again, any other way to optimize it is good.
Cool. All right. So there's no more queries on report output. I've got a couple of questions centered around workflow and automation. I think we may have already covered it, but I'll ask anyway. So there's some editable stuff, like stuff that you edit, like headlines, executive summary.
Yeah.
You still want to retain that as manual?
No, we don't want to retain it. We would need AI trained, and we could do a better job of that ourselves at the moment. But at the moment, we do the headlines and the executive summary pretty much ourselves.
Yeah.
But we use AI as part of the process, but it's as a support tool.
Yeah. So team, just remember just to add in your solution that the headlines and the exec sum should be generated by AI, but the human has the final review mechanism. Yeah. So make sure that the human in the room has the final say, not just. Yeah. Anything else, team, around workflow? I've got a couple of.
I think maybe it's enough for the discovery section today, right? Maybe we may have some follow-up question as well. What is the best channel to communicate and then to follow up? Is this like getting through email, or are you guys using WhatsApp? We can create a WhatsApp group.
No, I'd rather just stick to email, Vincent. I'm not a big fan of WhatsApp for business use.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So things will follow up through email.
Keep it through follow-up email. It's trackable. We can help facilitate that. Any other? You guys happy because this is your opportunity? Yes. Okay, anything else?
Sorry, and Fred, just to reconfirm, Ethan and Keith, right? You guys have enough information regarding like how the data structure and the input and output as well, right? Is there any other question anymore?
I think it's clear for me. So any concern, we will make assumption because we cannot do everything in one workshop today, but we will make an assumption and provide some more information or explanation to you guys to understand. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think we'll brief the maybe the pipeline and also all the question for the technical question maybe in other format, and then we'll discuss further. Yeah, but for now it's a great talk. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.
Anyone else here? You've got to add, Steve?
No, good.
Oh, good. All good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time. It's afternoon. I'm personally clocking off after this because I got a long weekend. I don't know about you, but
Lucky you.
I know. On Friday and then Monday is a public holiday. So guys, in New South Wales, we do not work this coming Monday. It's our Labor Day.
Oh, okay. Yep. Have a great holiday, guys. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
See you, everyone. Have a great holiday. Yeah.